Hello. Now we are going to look at central symmetry. So a center is a kind of point, and the idea of central symmetry is that we reflect all of the vertices, all of the corners of a shape through a single point. So we're going to take A and we're going to reflect it through this point M. So if we look at our diagram, we're going to say, well, we start at A, we're going to go to M, and then we're going to continue on in the same direction and the same distance out past M. So when we're trying to draw this in our copies, a ruler is very helpful because I'm going to go along the ruler line a particular distance, and then I'm going to keep the ruler in place and I'm going to go the same distance out the other side of M. And that makes it very easy to draw. But if I have coordinates, I can also work it out using coordinates. So we're going to talk about both. But again, the idea of central symmetry is that we have a center, in this case the point M, and we're going to reflect all of the corners of our shape through that point. And let's look at how we do that in practice. So we want our coordinates of A, B, and C first. So we go in the door 3, down the stairs -2. So 3 minus 2 is where we start with A, and B is at in the door 9, down the stairs -4. And C is at in the door 1, down the stairs -5. And where are they going to end up when we get their images? So we want to construct our image. So where is that going to end up for us? Well, the idea, as I said, is if we put our ruler between A and M, and we draw a line going straight between them. So with our rulers, we could do this very nice and neatly. But we go out that distance in that direction out by M, and then we use our ruler, and we're going to go out the same distance and the same direction and we're going to end up out here. And for some reason I did that one a lot neater. So the way that we can do this with coordinates, if we have a nice grid system like this, if we have our copybook that it has our nice boxes in it, I can see to get from A to M, I go across 3 and up 3. That's how I would walk across and up. So in the door and up the stairs to get from A to M. So I walk across 3 and go up 3. And if I do the same thing again, go across 3 and go up 3, I should end up at the image of A. So that's how we can do it by ruler and also by coordinates. So again, with the ruler, we would sit the ruler against A and against M. And we would take our ruler and say, well, I've gone a particular distance out this way. And then I'm going to say, well, I want to go the same distance in the same direction out past M. So the ruler stays where it was, and I go out the same distance out from M that I was going from A to M. And if I have a coordinate system, all I have to do is count the boxes. How far in the door do I go? How far up the stairs do I go? And I can do it with my coordinates that way. So let's write in our coordinates of A now that we've done our reflection in the point M. So we are now in the door 9, up the stairs 4. In the door 9, up the stairs 4. So that's the image of A. So this was our original point, this is our image. I think I'll write that in. So we have our points and our image, as I say. Now let's do the same thing for B. So B, let's do it by the coordinates method, because that's what we have easiest to us now. So we go -3 and then up 5. So we would do the same thing again. So -3, that's how far back we went to get to M. And then how far up did we go? We went up 5. And that should give us our image of B. So that's B apostrophe. So again, to figure this out, we start at B and we say, well, we have to go 3 -3 in the x direction, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to m. So let's do the same thing again. From m, we want to go in the same direction and the same distance. So if we go 1, 2, 3 in the -x direction, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up again, we end up at our image of B if we're reflecting through M. Again, if we had our ruler, we would take our ruler and sit it along the line MB, and we would say, well, I'd measure this distance, keep my ruler where it was, and I would go out the same distance out to my image of B. And we do the same thing for C. So we're going to go in the door 5 places, and we're going to go up the stairs 6 places. So in the door 5, and then up the stairs 6. And that is what we get for our image of C. And now we want to draw in our lines. Now we have the vertices, now we have the corners of our shape. It could also just be a line, but now we have all of our points anyway. We're going to draw them, draw in between them to get our shape's image. Now we have our shape drawn in, and again we draw in our dashed lines to show that we are going from C up to the image of C, from A to the image of A, from B to the image of B. And we use our ruler to do that. And it's important we use our ruler to do that, or we would lose marks. I'm aware that my lines aren't perfectly straight, but yours do need to be in order to get full marks. So we use our ruler to do this. And again, with our ruler, we can go from A to M, sit our ruler against those 2 points and say, well, I'm going this distance. Say it was 4 centimeters or 4.2 centimeters from A to M. Well, I'd go 4.2 centimeters out the other side of M with my ruler sitting in the same place. And that's how we can do our construction of our central symmetry. Now with central symmetry, we can see that all of our points are reflected through M. So you can also have that going on with a shape. So if we look at the capital letter H, if we pick the very center of that shape there, which I've labeled K, K is the center of symmetry of that shape. Because if I take any point on that shape, so if I take, say, this top right hand corner, and I say, well, if I reflect that point through K, do I end up on the shape again? And I do. I end up with the bottom left hand corner. And if I take this point on the line here and reflect it, do I end up on the shape again? I do. I end up down on this bottom right hand side. So if I take any point on my shape and reflect it through that center, I end up back on the shape again. So this shape, this capital letter H, has a center of symmetry. So we can have shapes themselves that have centers of symmetry. And if we think about this overall situation here, our 2 triangles, the original object and then the image, if we took that as being one big shape, we can also say that, well, if I take any point on the original shape and I reflect it through M, I would end up back on the image, or vice versa. So again, if we have a point on our shape where we could reflect any point on the object and it would end up folding onto itself, it would end up reflecting onto itself, then we say it's a center of symmetry. And that is what we need for now.